The bold and the beautiful, the truth Poppy can't bury. The walls of her apartment were too thin. Every creak of the floor above, every hum of the elevator, every passing car outside set Poppy Nozawa on edge. Her hands trembled as she poured coffee she wouldn't drink. The TV murmured in the background, muted, useless. Her phone vibrated again. Another message. No name, no return number. Just 4 words that had become her prison. Stay quiet or vanish. Poppy's world had unraveled piece by piece. And now it was collapsing. The secret she had buried for nearly 2 decades, the one she had sworn would never come to light, was now sitting like a live wire in the middle of her life, burning everything in its path. The source of Luna's pregnancy wasn't just controversial. It was dangerous. Someone had tampered with medical records, DNA logs, and blood test results. And Poppy knew who. But now the man, or the people, who helped her keep the secret weren't just nervous. They were desperate, and desperation makes people reckless. At first, the threats were vague. Don't open doors. Don't talk to anyone. Your daughter's safety depends on your silence. But then came the break-in. Poppy returned home one night and found her apartment torn apart. Drawers pulled out, cabinets open, her laptop destroyed. But one thing was left behind, a USB, carefully placed on her kitchen counter. Like a message, or a challenge. She plugged it in with shaking hands. There were 2 files. One was encrypted and corrupted. The other was clean. A folder labeled Invoice 447, Nakamura Genetics. Inside it, a PDF of a bank transfer for $120,000 wired to a lab technician named R. Klein. The note, priority test sequence, override parameters, suppress marker B24. It meant nothing to most people. But to Poppy, it was everything. Marker B24 was the genetic signature of Luna's biological father. The technician had falsified the results. Lied to the system. Lied to the doctors. Lied to Luna. And now someone was making sure that lie stayed buried. But Poppy couldn't carry it anymore. Not with Luna tangled in the Spencer family web. Not with the Forresters sniffing closer to the truth. Not with Finn asking questions she could no longer avoid. The threats weren't just about her anymore. They were about Luna. And that's when Poppy did something no one expected. She contacted Drive, John Finnegan. She didn't go to the police. She didn't go to Lee. She didn't trust anyone else. Only Finn, whose integrity was the only thing that hadn't cracked in the chaos of lies and secrets. They met in secret, early morning, before sunrise, in the staff parking garage beneath University Hospital. I need protection, she said. Not for me. For Luna. Finn frowned. From who? If I tell you that, she whispered, you'll be in danger too. He hesitated. Then tell me what you can. Poppy handed him a copy of the USB. If anything happens to me, give this to the police. Don't wait. Don't ask questions. Finn's eyes scanned the flash drive, then her face. You're being followed? She nodded. They know I'm close to breaking. They're watching every move. I found a camera in my smoke detector. Someone broke in. Left the USB. It was a warning. If I talk, they'll come for me. And for Luna. Do you know who's behind it? I have suspicions. But no proof. Finn exhaled, heart racing. What do you want me to do? I want to disappear, she said. Long enough to protect Luna. But I also want justice. And I can't have both. She turned and walked away before he could answer. That same evening, Poppy returned home to find her window latch broken again. Nothing stolen. But something had changed. A photo of Luna as a baby, once hanging on the fridge, now laid face down on the kitchen floor. That was the final straw. She packed a suitcase, made 2 phone calls, one to a burner number she hadn't used in years, and one to her lawyer. She had a choice to make. Give the USB to the police. Reveal the entire truth behind Luna's conception, including the name of the man who paid to bury the paternity results. Or trade silence for safety. She could destroy the USB, run, and hope that Luna's baby would shield them both from retaliation. Or she could expose the conspiracy and risk everything, including Luna's life. Her lawyer didn't give her any comfort. Once this goes public, he said, there's no pulling it back. And if the man funding that lab is who I think it is, you'll be signing your own death warrant. Poppy stared at the USB in her palm. And then she picked up the phone. Meanwhile, Luna was spiraling. The mansion felt more like a gilded cage than a sanctuary. Bill Spencer's icy control, Katie's stonewall silence, Will's growing tension, it was all crumbling. The pregnancy had bought Luna time, but not forgiveness. Not trust. And certainly not love. She had tried calling Poppy, no answer. She sent a message, where are you? But it bounced back. Disconnected. She felt something shifting beneath her feet. A threat she couldn't name, but one she could feel. And then she received a voicemail. No words. Just the sound of breathing. Your mother has one day. Finn's decision. Finn didn't wait. He made a copy of the USB, encrypted it, and sent it to an off-site forensic analyst. He also arranged a secure safehouse in the outskirts of Pasadena under a medical pretense. An outpatient recovery unit that no one could trace to Poppy. But when he arrived at her apartment to extract her, the door was ajar. The room was dark, empty, but on the table, another USB. This one labeled, not just Luna. Finn plugged it into his laptop in the parking lot. Inside, a second set of files. 3 names, 3 dates, 3 separate instances of test manipulation from Nakamura Genetics, 3 altered paternity records, and 1 recurring bank account, a numbered offshore account linked to a company with holdings in Spencer Publications. Finn's blood ran cold. It wasn't just about Luna. It was bigger, much bigger. The Crossroads Poppy resurfaced 2 days later, alone, ragged, terrified, but alive. She found Finn at the hospital and demanded to see the files again. They'll kill her, she whispered. They're already trying, Finn said. This isn't about just one child anymore. This is a system. I don't care, Poppy said. I care about my child. Then you have to choose, Finn said. Save her by running, or save her by ending this. Poppy cried, harder than she had in years. I can't bury another truth, she finally said. And that night, she handed the USB to the LAPD. The aftermath: an internal investigation was launched. The Nakamura technician vanished the same day. The account in the Cayman Islands froze overnight. Lawyers for Spencer Publications went silent. Bill denied involvement. Katie demanded answers. And Will, shaken by the mention of his name in the altered records, confronted his father for the first time with fear in his voice. What did you do, Dad? Bill had no answer. Because even he didn't know how deep this went. And Luna? She wasn't protected anymore. Now she was a target. Because the truth was out. And someone out there would kill to keep it from spreading. The USB was only the beginning. And Poppy's choice may have saved her daughter's soul. But it may have doomed them both. Because in The Bold and the Beautiful, secrets don't just destroy families. They destroy legacies. And this one was built to burn. The Bold and the Beautiful. The disappearance of Luna Nozawa by the time the new year crept into Los Angeles. The air around Forrester Creations wasn't full of champagne and sparkle. It was full of tension, whispers, and the slow, unmistakable stench of scandal. The Luna Nozawa story had stretched the limits of the fashion world's appetite for controversy. And with every passing headline, the backlash grew louder. It no longer mattered what the DNA test revealed. Whether the unborn child belonged to Will Spencer or was the product of an elaborate deception. The truth had lost its meaning in the storm of public outrage. Luna was no longer just a woman. She was a symbol, a target, a bomb waiting to explode. And then she vanished. The news broke on the 2nd day of January. Luna Nozawa, controversial model and centerpiece of the most vicious scandal to hit the Forrester Logan Spencer triangle in years, failed to appear at a scheduled deposition related to the paternity inquiry initiated by the Spencer legal team. Her phone had been turned off for 16 hours. Her last known location, a rideshare drop-off just outside the gated neighborhood where Bill Spencer's estate stood. She never entered the house. Security cameras caught her walking away from the gate on foot. She was never seen again. The media went nuclear. Where is Luna trended within minutes. Paparazzi swarmed Forrester, Spencer, and even Il Giardino. Protesters camped outside the Logan estate, chanting slogans about power, abuse, and justice. What had once been a scandal over a paternity test had now evolved into a possible kidnapping. Or worse, the LAPD launched an immediate investigation. So did the families. But what they found, instead of answers, was a web of motives that implicated everyone in Luna's orbit. Suspect 1, Will Spencer, the betrayed lover. Will had gone silent after the wedding night disaster. He hadn't answered calls, texts, or media requests. Sources close to the family claimed he was undergoing therapy and had withdrawn from all public engagements. But when Luna went missing, suddenly everyone was asking the same question. Where was Will that night? Security footage placed him driving alone around Griffith Park, where cell towers recorded his GPS pinging off various towers in what appeared to be a looping, aimless route. He claimed he was clearing his head. But his car's interior showed signs of recent cleaning, professionally done. And a faint trace of Luna's perfume was found on the passenger seatbelt. When interrogated, Will admitted Luna had texted him just hours before disappearing. The message read, "Meet me. I'll explain everything. This is bigger than us." He claimed he ignored it. But the message had been deleted from his phone before police could confirm the timestamp. Suspect 2. Remy, the man from the shadows. Remy's name had surfaced during the engagement party scandal, when the explosive video exposed his and Luna's past. But after that night he had gone underground. No public sightings. No financial activity. His bank accounts frozen. His last digital footprint was a 3-second login attempt to a cloud storage account 2 days before Luna vanished. Police tracked a burner phone purchased in Santa Monica, tied to a call made to Luna's number at 2:12 a.m. the night she disappeared. The phone was found in a dumpster behind a gas station, with fingerprints confirmed to be Remy's. No one could confirm his whereabouts since. But a neighbor in East Hollywood claimed to have seen a man matching Remy's description near Luna's former apartment the same night. When shown a photo, she nodded. It was him. Suspect 3, Bill Spencer, the billionaire under pressure. Bill had tried to contain the storm. His PR team had worked overtime to manage the optics of the Luna Will mess. But the scandal had cost him business deals, political alliances, and the public trust. His reputation was bleeding. And now, with Luna missing, fingers pointed squarely at him. I wanted her gone, Bill admitted during questioning. But not this. His personal security logs showed no breach. His phone records were clean. But one text sent to his chief of security just hours before Luna disappeared read, "She's the last loose thread. Watch her." Investigators demanded clarification. Bill claimed he meant surveillance, not harm. But Luna's last rideshare destination being his house raised too many questions. Especially when no entry logs showed she made it inside. He refused to comment further under legal advisement. Suspect 4, Deacon Sharp, the man who knew too much. Deacon had been the wildcard since the beginning. His ties to Luna's past through Remy were murky at best. He denied involvement, claimed he was out of the loop. But he'd also lied about when he first knew Luna's real identity. And his silence had already cost Hope her engagement and damaged the Forrester-Logan truce. Deacon's phone history showed encrypted messages sent from a private server days before Luna vanished. One of the messages included GPS coordinates, pointing to a parking structure 2 blocks from the Spencer estate. Another showed a file titled lastbackup_luna.mov. The file had been deleted remotely. Deacon claimed ignorance. Police weren't convinced, especially when a valet at the structure confirmed seeing Deacon's car that night. And then there was the security camera footage, blurry, but damning, of a man resembling Deacon handing a USB to someone wearing a hoodie. Suspect 5, Steffi Forrester, the ice queen with motive. Steffi had made no secret of her disdain for Luna. She called her a liability, a ticking bomb that threatened the brand's reputation. And when the pregnancy scandal broke, Steffi had gone straight to the board to propose removing Hope's line entirely. "She's a parasite," Steffi was overheard saying in a closed-door meeting. "She doesn't belong here." The night Luna disappeared, Steffi had been at home with the kids. But her assistant confessed under pressure that Steffi had stepped out for an hour that evening, with no explanation. When asked where she went, Steffi claimed she needed space. One more detail caught police attention. A black SUV registered under a Forrester subsidiary was caught on traffic cam 5 blocks from where Luna was last seen. The driver remains unidentified. The USB breakthrough 3 weeks into the investigation. Police recovered a crucial piece of evidence. A USB mailed anonymously to the LAPD. On it, security footage from a high-rise building overlooking the alley behind the Spencer estate. The timestamp matched the night of Luna's disappearance. The footage showed a woman, Luna, walking down the alley, looking over her shoulder. A man followed at a distance. She turned. They exchanged words. Then the footage cut out. The man was never fully visible, but his walk, build, and movement were eerily familiar. Investigators compared it to footage of every major suspect. And the closest match? Will Spencer. But the match wasn't conclusive. And then came the twist. Forensics confirmed the footage had been edited. Someone had removed 5 seconds from the middle of the clip. Why? The twist no one saw coming. Week 6 of the investigation. Public speculation reached a fever pitch. Rumors of Luna being dead flooded gossip blogs. Protesters lined the streets outside Spencer Publications. Brooke Logan publicly begged for calm. Hope left the city. Ridge refused to comment. And then, a press conference. The lead detective walked up to the podium. He didn't announce an arrest. He didn't confirm Luna was dead. He simply said, "We believe this was not a random crime. We believe Luna was targeted. And we believe one of the people closest to her knows exactly where she is." Then, from the back of the room, an officer approached the mic. "We've reopened 2 old investigations connected to this case. One involves Remy Nakamura. The other involves Bill Spencer." The room erupted. And backstage, a junior analyst whispered to her supervisor. "We just found another file on the USB." The supervisor froze. "What kind of file?" "An audio confession," she said. Timestamped the day before Luna disappeared. Whose voice? The answer would ignite the bold and the beautiful for weeks to come. Because the voice was female, conflicted, tired, and chillingly familiar. It said, "I'm sorry, Luna, but I can't let you ruin everything." And then silence. The investigation was no longer just about a missing woman. It was about betrayal, about legacy, and about who would kill to protect it. Because in The Bold and the Beautiful, family isn't just blood. It's a weapon. The Bold and the Beautiful. Vows, lies, and a war-ignited hope. Logan stood in the center of the Forrester Creations showroom. Surrounded by sketches, lace samples, and the ghosts of promises she'd made to herself too many times to count. The past few months had left her breathless. Lies, betrayals, shocking revelations, and a wave of media chaos she couldn't outrun. But amid the whirlwind, one thing had remained steady: Liam. He wasn't perfect, far from it, but he was familiar, safe, predictable, and right now, Hope didn't need passion. She needed stability. That's what led to the conversation over breakfast. Just the two of them. Coffee in hand, eyes heavy but focused. "Maybe we should do it," Liam said quietly. "Do what?" "Get married again. Officially. This time not for love. Not for romance. For peace. For optics." Hope didn't laugh. She didn't even blink. Because he was right. The Luna Will scandal had ignited every gossip channel in Los Angeles. The Logan name was in every headline. Spencer stock was fluctuating by the hour. And Forrester Creations was walking a razor's edge. Especially with rumors swirling that Hope's own line might be paused due to internal pressure. Hope for the future needed protection. And the Logan name needed to look like it was finally settled. "If we do this," Hope said slowly, "we do it clean. No press stunts. No photographers at the altar. Just family." Liam agreed. Just family. They didn't know then what that phrase would come to mean. Or how violently it would be tested. At Forrester Creations later that day, Hope was surprised to see Deacon Sharp, Dickie, waiting in the lobby, arms crossed, holding a folder under his arm. He wasn't wearing his usual leather and smirk. Today, he looked serious. Sincere. "I want in," he told her. "In what?" "Your team. Hope for the future. Give me a shot, behind the scenes, logistics, crisis strategy, I can help." Hope raised an eyebrow. "Since when do you want to be part of the design world?" "It's not about design," he admitted. "It's about protecting you. And helping you steer this mess around Luna and Will before it gets worse." Hope studied him. Dickie hadn't always made the best decisions. But he had been trying. And maybe, just maybe, he could help manage the firestorm burning through the media. His name still carried weight in backroom circles, even if it didn't sparkle in press releases. But what Hope didn't know, what Dickie wasn't telling her, was the real reason he wanted close access to her project. To her files. To the heart of Forrester. He was hiding a secret about Luna. One he'd kept buried for years. One that could fracture every fragile alliance holding the families together. Years ago, before Luna became a whisper in the fashion world or a scandal in the Spencer family. She was just a girl on the fringes of Los Angeles. And back then, she wasn't alone. She was with Remy, a name barely mentioned, almost erased from history. But Dickie remembered him. Because Dickie owed him. Remy was a hustler, but a smart one. He knew how to manipulate lab results, fake credentials, bend rules. He'd helped Dickie clean up a situation once that could have landed him behind bars. The price? Silence. Years later, when Dickie saw Luna's name in the middle of the Spencer mess, his heart stopped. Because he knew that Remy and Luna had shared a past. One that didn't add up. One that likely held the key to Luna's rise and the foundation of the current scandal. But Dickie kept quiet, until the night of the engagement party. Hope and Liam decided to announce their re-engagement with a quiet dinner party at the Forrester estate. Only family. No press. No media. Brooke and Ridge were there. Steffi came reluctantly. Thomas stayed away, citing professional boundaries. Katie and Bill showed up late. Tense but supportive. Will didn't come. Luna wasn't invited. Dickie hovered by the bar, watching. Smiling. But inside, he was unraveling. He had received a strange message that morning, a series of photos from an unknown number. Photos of Remy. Photos of Luna. And a timestamped folder titled "Before She Was Pregnant." Then, 20 minutes into the dinner, the room went dark. Someone had triggered the projection screen Ridge used for design showcases. A video file began to play. And the party turned to chaos. The video, it was a shaky cell phone video. Grainy. Taken years ago. Luna, barely recognizable, younger, colder, sat beside Remy in a motel room. They were laughing, drinking, plotting, discussing fake paternity tests. It doesn't matter who the dad is, Luna said in the clip. As long as they believe it's someone powerful. And you can handle that part, right? Remy nodded. We fake the labs. We plant the sample. We cash in. The audio ended with Luna saying one sentence. I'm done being poor. The video cut to black. And the room exploded. Katie screamed. Bill stood, stunned. Brooke reached for Hope, who went pale. Liam looked at her, confused. Did you know about this? No, she whispered. I swear. Dickie stepped forward, trying to speak. But Ridge grabbed him by the collar. You brought this filth into our house. I didn't leak the video, Dickie protested. I swear. But I knew about Remy. I didn't know this. You knew enough, Steffi spat. The Logan Forrester-Spencer alliance, fragile and barely holding together, shattered in real time. Everyone turned on everyone else. Katie accused Bill of protecting Luna too long. Ridge blamed Brooke for trusting Dickie. Brooke blamed Ridge for letting Steffi control the Forrester board and push Hope into a corner. Liam walked away from Hope mid-sentence. And through it all, one question echoed louder than any accusation. Was the baby ever Will's? The fallout in the hours that followed. Forrester's PR team went into full crisis mode. The video had already leaked online. It trended worldwide in under an hour. Spencer Publications issued a statement denying all knowledge of Remy or the video. Katie refused to let Luna near the house. Bill demanded a paternity retest under third-party surveillance. Hope suspended her line publicly. She said she needed time to rebuild trust. Liam packed a bag. The engagement was over before it even began. Dickie disappeared that night, his phone disconnected, his car abandoned in a parking garage near downtown. And Luna? She wasn't seen for days. But one thing was clear, someone hacked the phone. Someone leaked the file. Someone wanted the wedding destroyed, the families split, and the truth laid bare. Someone with access. Someone still inside. The aftermath. Brooke and Ridge tried to regroup. The Forrester board debated replacing Hope's line permanently. Katie refused to speak to Bill unless he dropped all involvement with Luna. Will withdrew from public life, devastated and humiliated. Hope tried to reach Dickie, no answer. But one envelope arrived at her office, sealed in black wax. Inside, a flash drive. And a note. You think the video was the end? That was just a trailer. The full movie's still uploading. Hope stared at the message. The war hadn't ended. It had just begun. And someone, somewhere, was still pulling strings. In the bold and the beautiful, weddings end in whispers. But this one? Ended in war. And the next act will burn.